Okay, so for the candidates from here on out, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Candidates will be asked specific questions, and we'll have 1.5 minutes to answer each question. After they're done answering, the other candidates will have 30 seconds to debate their answer to the question, at which point the candidate who asked the original question to will have 30 seconds to answer in advance. Do you guys get that?
What?
Okay. So again, same thing, you're going to have to answer the first question. Yellow marker at a minute, red marker at a minute, 30 seconds, your stop. So we're going to start with Jenna first. So Jenna, you state that you would like to improve sponsorship funding at the SGA. What is the current problem with sponsorship funding, and what changes do you wish to make?
That's a great question. So this year, being on the School of Human Kinetics Student Association, along with working with the Kin Games group, I was looking to get sponsorship and funding for a club, and I just found that the organization and kind of who to go to was a bit confusing, I guess you could say. So I'm just hoping to make that process a bit easier for students that want to start up clubs or want to have sponsorship from the SGA to run events, or if they're in professional school council, that they can have an easier time getting that funding as well.
Does either candidate want to rebut that? Okay.
Yeah, I would agree that it is a bit difficult to get funding, although this year we did introduce a new position specifically directed right at clubs. I'm a club president myself, so I know the process behind that. And I would say that, yes, there always is room for improvement, as the process is, but I do feel that it would be definitely working with that position, and that with this new position that we have in place, Sarah, we definitely have a good setup for clubs in their information.
Do you want to respond?
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like some people don't know who to go to or who to email. So if that is a little bit more kind of set in place at the beginning of the year, people can pick up a package that says email this person, talk to this person right away. I think that'll make the process a bit easier.
Okay, so the second question is for Joe. So Joe, in your campaign, you said that you want to work with the university to make sure that the goals of the mandatory meal plan are met. What are these goals that you are referring to? And if the mandatory meal plans are already in effect, how do you plan on getting the students' views across?
Alright, so that's a great question, and also to work with the university to ensure that that promise is made. Those are the kind of things that I'm discussing with Ben. He said there's going to be some great hours for students to be able to get satisfied, top-notch service and quality ingredients. So these are just a few of the promises that have been made to students. And basically I plan to go and engage with students. As currently at myself, I'm also a student that will be a part of the mandatory meal plan. And I will talk to the students and ask them how they're liking the services and seeing how things are going. And maybe looking at how we can continue to improve things and have as much flexibility as possible. Thanks.
Anyone want to respond, or should we move on? Okay, the next question is for Chris. So Chris, so far you've been pretty silent probably in the campaign, bringing no platform to the students. Why should students vote for you if you have not started campaigning this far, given that closer tomorrow?
Okay. Well, I have started campaigning. It is true that I don't have any posters up right now. There was some issues with printing, and I finally have them out. They're all going up today. The reason, really, that I would say the number one reason that you should vote me for Vice President Policy and Advocacy is that I have the most experience with the SGA. I've been working with them from my very first year. I'm going into my final year of my undergraduate degree here now. I know the inner workings, and I've actually applied for this position last year. So I do know what it entails, and I've been working very closely. Also, I did help with the reformation of the Constitution this year. I went through it and I helped out the current Vice President policy and I studied board members. The number one thing that I would say is definitely experience, but I do have solid plans, mostly focusing on making sure that there are no lackluster areas being created by teachers retiring or leaving North University. That's my number one focus when it comes to policy. As for campaigning, I have started campaigning by talking to students, but if you would like to talk to me personally, as I probably have not talked to everybody in this room, come see me in the bowling alley today. All afternoon, all evening, I'll be in the bowling alley, so you can feel free to come by and ask questions and talk to me.
Another question in regards to your campaign. You mentioned that you had a lot of difficulties with printing services and that, and really getting out to students. Just wondering if you have any online campaigning and not any posters and how the day before elections. So how do we ensure that this doesn't happen? How do we know that this isn't going to happen if elected? That there's going to be a problem with campaigning for events and any other events.
That's a completely fair point. The printing services, it wasn't through the Russian University. It was actually through outside sources just because of how my hours were in my classes. Of course, if I got elected, I would focus my class hours around being vice president. I'd make sure that I have available hours to talk to students at office hours that are solid. That's what I did my year I was SGA senator. I actually structured my classes around being able to come to the University Senate meetings. As for the lack of campaigning, the possible future of lack of campaigning, I guarantee you that will be an issue. This was due to mostly printed services. I haven't talked to students. I will talk to students as much as possible, and I do have plans to have bi-weekly meetings. That schedule might change, but I do plan to have regular scheduled meetings so that students can come and talk and hear what's going on with your SGA.
All right, just a reminder that we'll put up the red flag, you guys gotta cut it off.
They have like 15 seconds. They have like 15 seconds that left the red flag. No, red flag.
Okay, so we'll take it back to Jenna for another question. So Jenna, in your platform, you say that you want students that are centralized at the bottom of the hill to be more connected to the SGA. Who are the students you are referring to, and how do you plan on connecting these students?
Absolutely. So I currently am president of the School of Human Kinetics Student Association. So that means I speak on behalf of those students, but as well sit on the academic council for the professional schools. And those are mainly most of the students I'm referring to. The students at NOSM, School of Education, Ben Avery, Alphonse Raymond. I just feel that those students don't know as much about the SGA that maybe the students located on this side of campus. So I think bringing in maybe some office hours or another VEED desk located at the bottom of the hill will just help ensure that students at that end of campus know more about the SGA, are better connected with the SGA, and the SGA can reach out to more students.
I just have one question for you. You're talking about kind of the satellite areas of the campus, and I completely understand that there does need to be better connection there. We're actually talking about, there was some work this year looking at getting some food services at the end that you're talking about actually. But what about the other end of campus over at the Fraser building, the science students and such? Would you plan on getting them engaged as well? Because I do know personally from being in the science program that there is a lot of lack of communication with the science students as well. Is there anything that you really want to address about that, or is it just the end that you're most familiar with?
Just speaking from my experience, those are the students I'm most connected with, the ones I've had the most experience with, and I haven't seen any changes at that end of campus throughout my time here. I feel the science students are having that issue too. That's something we can easily fix, and we can have some SGA more better connected in that area as well. But obviously, through my experience, I got to speak more on that.
I have a question about getting food services across campus. what specific plans do you actually have to get food services across campus?
That actually wasn't the question. The question was actually about just better connecting the SGA with the other side of campus. I'm not really talking about food services at the moment. I'm mainly focusing on having maybe some office hours or another front desk at those locations.
So just one more question. So you talked about just connecting students mainly down the hill. What about other areas like off campus and better improving engagement with students up the hill residences? Like U of S, and then also even the UCSSR and things like that. And plus like maybe even other areas of the sciences and places like that.
Good point, I guess. Again, my main focus would be that bottom of the hill because I haven't seen any connection there, and I know that residents are very well connected with the SGA. I know that Thornlow and Huntington, and those are affiliated universities, and those students are students that are mainly located at the bottom of the hill if they're in those programs. So when I mean the bottom of the hill, I mean those students in those specific programs. Who knows where they live or any of that. But obviously, where they have classes is where I want to kind of help them out.
Okay, we're going to go to Joe for the next question. So Joe, in your platform, you say that you want to approve the tax contract and extend it. Do you realize that the contract extension will be completed by the time you reach office and elected, and how do you plan on improving the service?
Alright, so I wasn't currently aware whether or not it would be completed. But anyways, for improvements, so some of the improvements I'd like to make are getting a summer contract for students, hopefully an optional 4-month plan. So hopefully like that option available to summer students as they currently pay more in 4 months than they do for the 8 for bus services. Also, I'd like to continue on our shared work of getting better bus services on weekends later at night. So such as getting later buses, hopefully around 2 to 15 for when bars and pubs close or something like that, or make it easier for students to come on and off campus. So yeah, I think that'd be a great thing to have. Also making Sunday service a lot more reliable, as sometimes buses don't even show up at the times posted. Thank you.
I just wanted to add that since Mark has been working on it all year, and those negotiations will be set before if you're elected to in that position. And I'm aware that our contract right now looks at a cap of $200, and if we were to have it all year round, that would go over that cap, and that's not what we're looking at right now. We're looking at minimizing the cost. So I just think those goals are unrealistic and unattainable.
Well, I wouldn't think so because they're currently for summer students. They'd be paying more without a plan for the summer. So if this is an optional plan, they'd actually be saving money. So I think they're realistic.
I just know that they play for an 8-month contract, being an undergrad student, so they don't get that opportunity to have it during the summer right now. And those negotiations that will be finalized before this year ends, I don't think it's possible that we can make those changes right away.
Of course, it's going to take time to still go and have meetings and work with the transit to implement changes. So, yeah.
I guess since we're talking about this optional summer capacity, I am a student who stays in Sudbury, so obviously it would be a good benefit to me. But there are many students here, you mentioned, who would be able to, who don't stay here in Sudbury. So if, and considering how a big part of the discount that we get for the 8 months that we currently have is that everybody is required to have one unless you're outside the service or this. How would you feel of the possibility of them asking you if it would have to be mandatory for all students, no matter really? Because, I mean, having 4 months for only select number of students would be very disadvantageous.
I would get more informed in the matter and see what best options we could have for students. Thanks.
Okay, so now we're going to have our final question for the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy. Candidates go to Chris. So Chris, I know that you ran last year for the position and were not elected. Why do you feel that you should be elected this year?
I feel that I have a lot of experience. I mean, last year when I was running, it was just me and Margaret Tina, who is the current vice president, and I felt that we were both fantastic candidates. Even like right when we both announced that we were running, we met each other like, it's going to be a fantastic choice no matter who the students choose. This year, I'm coming in with an extra year of experience talking with the SGA. I've seen even more dealings of how they work with people. I've looked even more closely at the specific position of Vice President Policy and Advocacy than I had the year before, so I know a lot more about that. And I mean, experience is one thing, but also I've been able to form solid plans this year as opposed to just the year before saying I want to improve these things. I don't necessarily know how to go about this, I know people I want to talk to, but I didn't know the specific steps I wanted to take. So this year, I have a lot more experience. I have solid plans of what I want to do, and I feel that I am the best choice because I'm focusing on not just specific areas of campus, I'm focusing on all students, and I'm not only planning on continuing current projects, but also hopefully looking forward and talking with new executives and seeing if there are any new projects starting next year we can also undertake as well.
Okay, so those are all the questions that we had for the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy candidates. Is there anyone in the crowd who wants to ask a question?
Hello. So as you may know, I once held the position of VPations before it was my name several years ago. And I really think Mark's going to be a tough act to follow. So I want to know what your top 3 priorities are going to be next year and how you plan on accomplishing those tasks.
Okay, so the number one thing that I've already discussed is looking at the structure of the classes and making sure that if professors leave who are interested due to retiring, what have you, that they don't leave any areas unfilled. This is somewhat, an issue in some classes, in some areas, but it's definitely a bigger one in others where sometimes a professor leaves, they have no one to teach the class, as where in other programs, when they have a professor that leaves, they will in turn just have someone who's not as skilled at the area to teach the class. I want to look at this by looking at the current budget that we have for hiring teachers. Some areas do specifically say we're going to be hiring a teacher. This isn't the budget, and they're saying we're going to be hiring a teacher, and it doesn't specify what area we're going to be hiring a teacher. So I want to look at all the classes and make recommendations to, especially the Senate, essentially saying these are the areas where we need teachers the most. Other 2 big issues, one that I've also been mentioning a lot is I want to have a regularly scheduled meeting. It'll happen, however many, at a set period, however many weeks, where students can just come. Preferably it would be at the 11:30 to 1 period, an unofficial lunch period, luncheon, all of us can make it. I also plan on having regular office hours, which we have with the senator. And I hope to have it so that students can be engaged and come see. I want to be able to come and talk, even if they feel that civic representation is not talking to the SGA, I want them to come. And my final thing would be working with the Student Center, whether or not it gets passed, I want to work with that.
My 3 main points would be definitely having food services over by the Ben Avery. 3 main reasons for that. Definitely to help out those students at the bottom of the hill. Also for our athletes and for people that come to our community recreation center. It just seems odd to me that we don't have anywhere for those people to eat. And we host, swim meets, we host athletic events there, and we still don't have anything for those people that come and visit our university to go and have, a drink or have some lunch. So I just feel like that's a main focus of mine is to get some food services over there. The next thing, I definitely support the Student Center. I think that's something that this university could really benefit from because being an athlete, I've visited so many other universities and I've seen the quality student centers that they have. So working towards getting one of those, I think, would benefit the quality of life here at Laurentian. And finally, working again, following the UPass, making sure that those connections stay strong and that we can have a clear communication with them throughout the years.
Alright, so the main point for me is really engaging and advocating for all students, regardless of what area they're in, whether it be off campus to up the hill, down the hill, wherever. I really want to go and set up meetings for off-campus students too, hopefully on-res, so we can better communicate, get ideas across, so I can better represent them, understand some of their problems. Even going and engaging students personally around campus, just talking to them, seeing how things are going on. Overall, I think really talking to students and approaching them is the best way to understand how things are going on campus and to best advocate for them. Also, for some of the classroom issues and all that, I was currently invited onto an Arts Advisory Council as I presented some ideas to the board, and this is one that they felt I would be a great asset to be a part of. So this will help all students in the arts program for classes that are canceled or even other problems. Come see us, and we can approach the department as a council with a lot more power and a better way to get results. Also, another thing is having great services. So it's also going and the mandatory meal plan. So,
Alright, I got a question for Joe. So I'm just kind of sitting on your Facebook page right now. So we debated it. Let's say that 12-month pass is, you can't guarantee it because you're going to have to go to referendum because there's a $200 cap on the bus pass. On your post, you say that food services across campus can't be guaranteed. And the other post you have is that you want to work with the student center, which can't be guaranteed because we're going to referendum. It might not go through. So what can you guarantee that you can offer to the students this year?
I can definitely guarantee greater advocacy and representation, really connecting and getting across to students, improving information, getting across to students through online social media. Also, there's the improvement of getting board meetings, SGA board meetings up online. Obviously, it was some of the work of the current executive members. But yes, these are just some of the things to work towards. And the main thing was, as I mentioned in the bio too, was that granted it got passed, that these are some of the things I would do. And I can't guarantee food services across campus. That is an issue with other people, not necessarily specifically the SGA themselves. So yes, we work towards and have a plan, but implementing it is a key thing. There would be possibly some other solutions like revamping the alumni halls food services, or even maybe seeing about the second floor lounge there, using that for food services rather than talks of renovations, which would be costly to students and would save time and money. Thanks.
Anyone else have any questions for the Vice President, Policy and Advocacy candidates? No?
Can I ask a question? Alright, so this is a question to Jenna. This is a general question about your platform. They are addressed as hopes and wishes. How do students know if any of these hopes and wishes are true?
Hopes. I don't understand what you mean by hopes and wishes.
Alright, let me clarify. On your main platform posted on Facebook I have here, you post main points that I wish to accomplish this year, and also like you would say, oh, I would like to get through some services, I would like to continue support of the new paths, I would like to work with them. So, yeah, you'd like to, but how do you ensure that these actually happen?
That's what I mean by if I was elected. So like I don't have the position right now. That's why I'm putting the word out there. Like these are my plans. These are my like objectives that I would want to put in place if I were given the position. At this point, I have no power. I don't have that position in my hands.
We're actually going to